Good morning, everyone. Right, today we are going to be looking at our reading lesson. Alright, so if you look just here, our reading strategy is we are going to be looking at characters' points of view. We are learning how authors use points of view to reveal what the characters think, feel, say, and do. To be successful, you are going to log into RazKids, choose a fiction book, listen to and read the book. Read it about and think how the author is revealing what a character is thinking, feeling, seeing, and doing. Complete the questions. Okay, so a couple of points. Remember to read the questions first. Alright, so see if you read the questions before what you read. It makes in your mind is alert to what you're going to be looking for to find the answers. Right? I hope that makes sense, but I'll try and explain. So if we look down here, what does the character see in the book? Okay, what powerful or interesting words has the author used? So we're going to keep an eye out for them. What does the main character feel? So we're going to be looking for words that show feeling. What does the main character think? And what does the character do in the book? Okay, first things first, the part that it says screenshot, just so you know, to do a screenshot, you click three buttons: Control, Shift, and then this little Windows button here. Okay, if you do that, Control, Shift, Windows button, you are able to take a screenshot of anything you want on the screen. Okay, just close that. Right, so the book I'm reading is Alice Dent and the Incredible Germs by Gwen Lowe. So I'm going to read a couple of pages depending on whether I can get the answer to the first question. Alright, so the first question was, what does the character see in the book? Okay. Chapter 1, Number 9, Nettle Close. Mr. and Mrs. Dent were the sort of parents who didn't much like children. They're such grubby little creatures, always picking their crusty little noses and spreading germs and mess everywhere, declared Mrs. Dent that morning. Dangling daringly out of the kitchen window, she extended her best long-handled grabber and expertly plucked their daily newspaper from the mailbox on the gate. Mrs. Dent never went outside, not if she could help it. It's a shame there aren't more fantastic parents like us, always on top of dirt and diseases, she continued smugly, shaking a bottle of disinfectant into a foaming fizz. Soon the paper was drenched and Mrs. Dent thrust it into the hot oven to toast. Her words and the warm fumes nearly made Alice Dent choke. Alright, so I know Alice is our main character. She was on the front cover of the book. Alice was sitting very quietly at the kitchen breakfast table in number 9 Nettle Close, pretending that she was invisible. She was good at doing this. Sometimes her parents forgot about her for hours at a time. Alright, notice that use of the semicolon. Okay? She was good at doing this. Right? This being invisible. Okay, that's a little technique. Alright, the semicolon allows the author to explain how Alice is so good at being invisible. Alright? Sometimes her parents forgot about her for hours at a time. That shows that she's very good at being invisible. Okay? So that's maybe something you can write down in one of your answers. Okay? But that wasn't going to last. Not today. And very soon Alice knew she was going to be in the worst trouble on the planet. All because she had a cold. If I sneeze, I'm dead, she thought in panic, pinching her nose as she forced down her over-boiled egg. Perhaps they won't notice, she consoled herself. But this seemed unlikely, especially because she had to keep diving under the table to wipe her nose. Manners, barked Mr. Dentley sharply, as Mrs. Dent took the sterilised paper out of the oven and handed it to her husband. Sorry, muttered Alice. Now, stifling a cough, there was no way she could have guessed that these symptoms were the first sign of the strange and incredible world-changing events to come. And not knowing that was a great pity, because right now Alice could seriously do with being cheered up. Meanwhile, Mrs. Dent bustled around the kitchen, boiling shoelaces and polishing the soles of Mr. Dent's work boots. She certainly didn't believe in changing the world. She thought that was a very dangerous idea. "Those boots look just so poppet," said Mr. Dent. Maybe not. He probably wouldn't have said it like that. "Those boots look just so poppet," said Mr. Dent approvingly, lifting his head out of the smoking newspaper as Mrs. Dent threaded the laces back in a perfect pattern. They smiled at each other fondly. Okay, so I'm going to stop there because I know an answer to the first question. First question being, what does a character see in the book? Right? Well, I know her parents, or I could rephrase that. Alice can see her parents in the kitchen. Her mum is cleaning. I think she is cleaning her husband's boots. And her dad is reading the newspaper. Okay, that's all we need to do for that, right? Something that you know the main character can see. Okay, are there any powerful or interesting words the author has used? I noticed something at the very, very beginning. It was dangling daringly out of the kitchen window. Okay. So I'm going to... What powerful or interesting words has the author used? An interesting... Well, let's put pair of words the author has used is... Oh, and then I'll put dangling daringly. Okay. This is an alliteration. The repetition of the sounds, of the D sounds. So dangling daringly. This is an alliteration. The repetition of the D sounds suggests. Okay, that's a really good word to use. Right, suggests that it is dangerous. Have they used any punctuation? Again, I showed the semicolon about Alice being invisible. Alright, so you could pop that in there as well, but you don't have to. Okay, but those are the kind of things that you're looking out for. Alright, those writing techniques. Okay, so I'm going to go back to where I left off. So they smiled at each other fondly. Okay, I'm going to go back to what's one of the next questions. What does the main character feel in the book? Alice hid her face and tried not to be sick. Her parents were perfectly matched. While Mrs. Dent was ferret-like, sharp-nosed, and keen on clean, Mr. Dent was large and brawny and zealous about law and order. He liked things just so... Everything ship-shape and Bristol fashion, he would say, sliding his strong arms into his protective suit for another day in pest control. Alright, so he's getting ready for work. Back to the question was, what does the main character feel? Okay. Well, I know Alice does not feel good because it says she's trying not to be sick. Okay. So, I'm going to type in Alice did not feel good because it says on page 3, again I'm going to use my speech marks, tried not to be sick when she was looking at her mum and dad. Okay? How do you know they feel this way? Because it was written in the book right there. Okay? So see these questions in bold? They're going to help you answer the questions. What does the main character think in the book? Okay, so think. Let's look back. See if we can get an answer for that. Nothing made him happier than wiping out a big wasp's nest or exterminating a few cockroaches. In truth, the worst thing that had ever happened to Mr. and Mrs. Dent was having a child. Alice wasn't best pleased about this either, although she tried not to mind too much. Alice had interesting blue eyes with amber flecks and had to take 5 showers and soapy baths every day. More if Mrs. Dent insisted. In fact, over her 11 years, Alice had been through so many showers and baths that she was surprised she hadn't shrunk to being smaller than average size. And she'd washed her long curly hair so much with strong soap that she was sure the colour was fading into streaks of blonde and ginger brown. She sighed. It wasn't fair. She had another cold. She really did try to stay neat and clean, even if she wasn't very good at it. And how could she have picked up any germs? She hadn't seen anyone. Her parents hadn't even let her go to school for a week because of the note sent home about pupils with stomach upsets. Right, we're going to stop there and I'm going to try and go back. So what does the main character think in the book? Okay, I'm going to go back a little bit. I remember reading about world-changing events, right? So I'm going to pop in. So if we look back at it, it says, there was no way she could have guessed that these symptoms were the first sign of the strange and incredible world-changing events to come. And not knowing that was a great pity, because right now Alice could seriously do with being cheered up. Meanwhile, Mrs. Dent bustled around the kitchen, boiling shoelaces and polishing the soles of Mr. Dent's work boots. She certainly didn't believe in changing the world. It's mentioned again. Okay, so I'm going to pop in. Alice has been thinking about changing the world. Okay. I know this because on page 3, it says, she certainly didn't believe in changing the world. Okay. Again, this suggests that Alice has thought about changing the world. Alright, and then in bold it says, what has the character said, which shows they are thinking this way. Right, that is mentioned in the book. Okay. What does the character do in the book? What does the character do? Where was it? Was it the showers? How many showers he had? Oh, I think it was the next one. Oh yeah. Alice had interesting blue eyes with amber flecks and had to take 5 showers and soapy baths every day. Okay, so what she has done is Alice has stayed clean and tidy all her life. Okay, I know that because it says Alice had interesting blue eyes and had to take 5 showers and soapy baths every day, more if Mrs. Dent insisted. In fact, over her 11 years, Alice had been through so many showers and baths that she was surprised she hadn't shrunk to being smaller than average size. Okay? Alice had stayed clean and tidy all her life. I know this because on page 4 it says, is that page 4? Yeah, just there. No, it's because on page 4 it says, in fact, over her 11 years, Alice had been through so many showers. Why do you think they do or did this? I believe she did this because of her parents. Alright? Because her mum was so strict at being clean. Okay, so I hope that helps. And remember, pop in your screenshot. If you need instructions for that, just look at the back of the video. And I hope that helps. And yeah, good luck.